Good afternoon, good morning. It's still morning. It's still like 9 something a.m. here in Nigeria. Good morning, everybody. My name is Fabrice of Coco, or you can also call me Coco Jibadi. I'm a YouTuber, a content creator, and an influencer. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, but I've just been having every reasons not to do it. In other words, I've just been waiting for the right moment per se. But today I read my Bible and I've been studying on Samuel. I'm studying on Saul, and today I studied Saul. And okay, let me give you an idea. So for some of you that might not be Christians, or for some of you that might not be familiar with the story of King Saul. Apparently, the Israelites have always been God's favorite people, and God has always been delivering them from the hands of their enemies, especially from the hands of the Philistines. So it got to a point that Israelites felt that they needed to be like other nations, in the sense that they were asking and requesting for a king from God. But apparently, they really did not need a king, but God, being who He is and being a merciful God, granted their request. And at this point, Samuel was the priest in charge of the Israelites at this period. So when the Israelites said they wanted a king, Samuel went to God and God said, no problem, give these people what they wanted since they asked him for a king, even if they had rejected him. But he's still, being a loving father that he is, he was still going to grant them what they wanted. So God had already told Samuel where he was going to meet Saul, and God had already said, okay, you're going to meet him in this place. And Saul had misplaced some of his donkeys. He had misplaced his donkey that his father gave him, but apparently this was already a plan orchestrated by God so that Samuel and Saul were going to meet. So when Samuel met Saul, because Saul went to look for the donkey with one of his servants, and the servant also said that there was a seer that could see and tell them know where the donkey was, because they've been looking for the donkey for like 3 days now, and they have no for days now, and they have not found it. So Samuel and Saul met at this point. And when Samuel saw Saul, it told Saul that Saul was the one God had chosen for the Israelites. And let me go to my book. And Saul was very surprised. If you want to study more on this, you can check First Samuel chapter 9. So, and I'm going to read what Saul said when he met Samuel. When Samuel told him that God had chosen him, Saul was like, that's First Samuel 9 verse 21. I belong to the tribe of Benjamin, the smallest in Israel, and my family is the least important one in the tribe. Why then do you talk to me like this? From this statement, you can practically see that Saul himself was in serious doubt. Why would God choose him? Of all the tribes in Israelites, his family was the least important, and also he was the least important one in his family, in his tribe. Now, why would God choose him? And while meditating, I also realized that I'm going to be reading from my book, but I don't want to read offhand. God doesn't call you by your situation, your family title, or position in it. You might not feel like it, but He's the one who sees potentials that we do not see. In quotes, I don't necessarily have to look the part. What I've come to understand, even for me as a person too, is that I've been wanting to do so many things in my life, but I just felt like it was not, I didn't just have the right tools, I didn't have the right skills, I didn't have the right equipment. I just kept on looking for reasons and reasons not to do what I want to do. But while studying this verse, I just made me realize that I don't necessarily have to do the part. What matters is that God has called me and I should make myself available. And so long I make myself available, it's going to work the way and make the part. All you just need to do is to make yourself available. Because most times you just feel like, and I don't necessarily blame it. Probably it's the way the words from when God calls us to do something, we just feel like I don't have to say that. This is not to say that you should not up your skills and anything. No, I'm not in any way clamoring for that. What I'm trying to say is that If you know that this is what God has called you to do, and you know that this is the purpose on earth, just make yourself available and stop giving excuses, because I do not want to live a life where tomorrow when I'm dead, I start regretting that I could have done this, I could have done that. Whereas God has just saying, I've given you all that you need. This is all you need. You don't necessarily need anything again. Just start. Just make yourself available. And this is me talking to myself too. Just make yourself available. That's the important thing, because God will not make a mistake. He is the one that called you. He's the one that knows why He called you, and He knows why He chose you. You might not look like it, and that is far from what we do not think like God. We've never thought like God. We cannot see what He sees, but I'm sure that God doesn't make a mistake in His projects. So this is me calling out everybody too, and I'm also calling out myself too. If you know that you wanted to do something for the longest time and you've been finding reasons not to do it, this is God saying that you do not necessarily have to look the part. Just make yourself available. And I also, what I've got come to realize is that when God calls us for some time, we keep on giving excuses that I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't have this, I don't have that. What we're trying to do, or what we're doing unconsciously, is that we're telling God that, God, you're making a mistake in choosing me to do this, because I do not feel I look the part, or I don't feel I have the potentials to do what you want me to do. But God is saying, just make yourself available. And I think that's all I have for today. So, this is me telling you, make yourself available, and you do not have to look the parts. God sees what you don't see, He sees the potentials, and God has never made a mistake in picking people, and He has never made a mistake, and He will never make a mistake. So, just make yourself available. I think that's all I have to say about that. Thank you. And on that note, please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to be talking on different things. I'm going to be talking on personal development. I'm going to be vlogging. I'm going to be giving you fashion content. Everything that involves our life of Coco. So subscribe, and do not forget to subscribe again.